Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new season review here on Football Manager 2021. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And as always, be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. As you can see on the screen, we've got the Wolverhampton Wanderers end of season review for the 22-23 season. Our third season has been completed. And my word, what a season it has been. I think for the last two episodes I've said how good the seasons have been, but I think this one surpasses it by a long stretch. As always, we are still streaming this probably most days over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dave as a party. So be sure that you follow me over on there. Links are in the description. And of course, if you follow me on Twitter, you can stay up to date with that. So it's at Dave as a party on Twitter as well. As always, though, we will kick off with the season review. If you've got any questions or queries about the save so far, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try my best to answer those for you as well. So, new arrivals. My word, there were some big transfers, boys. Massive transfers. I will talk about them a little bit more in depth as we get into the video, I think, because we'll probably see the order that I signed some of these in. But let's start off with the... let's start off with let's start with the low fees. Right, Manuel Barbosa. Manuel Barbosa was a player that is coming on a very cheap deal. Was it a free? Yeah, on a free transfer. To appease the board, we've got a club vision to sign Portuguese players, and it is really frustrating because I always have a battle with the board when I want to put bids in for some players. So Manuel Barbosa was one of those players. Not a bad young player. We'll probably make a little bit of money on him. We haven't got a work permit for him, so at the moment he's out on loan at Grasshoppers. Next up was a young goalkeeper, Aaron Maguire. Again, not really ever going to break into the team, but again, someone that we'll probably make a little bit of money on in the future. Now we get to some of the first teamers. Now, Ousmane Dembele was agreed last season. He came in on a free this year and played a decent amount of games, to be fair. You can see 21 starts, 3 games off the bench. Managed to get 6 goals and 6 assists as well. Had a couple of little injuries, but yeah, played a lot more than I expected him, to be fair. And I'll obviously show you why shortly as well. Valued at 70 million now. We brought in Idrissa Gueye as a loan option, a backup player for us on loan from PSG. Still a very solid player. 33 now, still pretty good physically. Got that experience. As you can see, he didn't play a huge amount of games, but did grab a couple of goals for us. A couple of, I think he scored 1 tap-in and 1 absolute screamer. A beautiful volley as well. So, really, for someone that came in as a backup, I was fairly happy with his contribution. We also have Nuno Mendes, who's come in, £41 million. That was his release clause at his club Sporting, but he came in, and I'm really happy with his contribution, to be fair. I'll talk a little bit more about why he joined shortly. It wasn't a transfer that I had planned at the start of the season, but I'm happy with his contribution. As you can see, 7.21 altogether. Likes to attack, likes to get up and down the wing, still only 20 years of age, and all of those attributes can really very much improve as well. Danny Carvajal came in as a free transfer as well. I wanted someone to be a little bit more competition for Nelson Semedo on the right-hand side. Semedo had pretty much free reign of that role for the last 2 seasons, so we've brought in someone with that little bit more quality to give him some competition, and played a really a decent amount of games and got a 6.84 average rating. Now we're getting on to the big boy signings. Erling Haaland. We managed to activate his release clause, viewers, what am I on about? It's like I'm on Twitch. We managed to activate his release clause at £78 million. Right, the full story of this one. From the start of the save, to be fair, it's almost been, it sounds a bit weird, but my dream to sign Cristiano Ronaldo for Wolves on FM. He became a free agent. I've been tapping him up for ages. He became a free agent. We brought him in. I offered him a contract. He wanted £700,000. Someone in my chat said, put him on trial, see what happens. We put him on trial for a week. We also got Neymar on trial for a week because Neymar was out of contract as well. And we agreed contracts with both of those for just under £200,000 each. As they were getting close to being accepted, Manchester United went in for Neymar and PSG went in for Cristiano Ronaldo, offered them less money and a worse squad status, and unfortunately Ronaldo and Neymar went elsewhere. So there was money in the pot for me to still spend. That 400 plus ish grand, 400 grand in wages that I didn't spend. So you know what, I thought we'll look at Haaland. Still had his release clause on his contract, and we went on to activate it, and my word, fantastic signing. He did have quite a big injury towards the end of the season, but you can see his attributes there, and you can see that he grabbed 33 goals for us, a fantastic record with 3 assists and a 7.1 average rating. Next up, we had Nick Pope. He came in for £30 million. Didn't play a massive amount of games. Still got 38 games, to be fair. Got himself an assist as well, and wasn't horrific in goal. English player. Wanted to bring some English players in as well, so not too concerned with his signing. Pretty happy with that signing overall, to be fair. Next one was Declan Rice as well. It's the last signing, actually. Declan Rice, another player, came in, could cover centre-back, wanted a centre-back, and wanted someone to cover central midfield as well. And turned out to be one of the regulars, one of the big leaders now in the squad, I think, and probably a future captain for us maybe in the next year or so. Still only 24, still got fantastic attributes. And 45 games played, 2 goals and 7 assists. Really, really happy with that. So we'll move on to the transfers out now. And as you can see, a lot of players going out of the club. Let's start from these smaller transfers. Mark Derry, who was a guy that came in as a youth intake, was sold for just over $500,000. Mike Sayer went to Burnley for just under £1 million. I'm looking at him there. If he was like a right winger or something, I know it says attacking midfield right. He would be okay, but yeah, we sold him. Meriton Shabani, his contract was up at the end of the season, so we sold him for £1 million. Willie Bolly's contract, I'm not sure if he was up at the end of the season, but he wasn't playing much football, and I thought with his age as it is, we'd cash in, and we got £24 million for him off Juventus. Manuel Ugarte, who's a great player, really, really good player, but just didn't break into my team, and he's gone to Club America. I think they will make some serious money on him in the future. They signed him for £25 million, still only 22, and some unbelievable attributes as well. So we signed him on a free, made some good money on him. I think what it has been with this series is that I want to improve the squad so much so quickly, I almost have to flip players quite quickly. And you'll see that I've held no sentiment for any players, and I think you'll see that next season as well. Seriously, the lack of sentiment I've had. If there's a bid that has come in, or a bit of that, a good amount of money, even though I feel I can get more, if it's a good amount of money and I can improve the squad with that money, they're going. You'll see that with some of these. Garte went for £25 million. Sergio Gomez, who again, another player we brought in on a free, has gone out to Monaco for £9.33 million. Again, another very capable player, younger player. Corbiano left to join Wigan for £275k. Rui Patricio also left. I sort of wish I kept him, to be fair, for this season, but he still wanted a pretty decent wage, and you know what, we moved him on anyway. But yeah, he's gone to Inter, so done well there. Raul Jimenez also went. We got £35 million for Raul. Of course, I was really upset that he missed that penalty in the Champions League final and then just sold him on. But you know what, that's allowed us to bring in the likes of Haaland and so on as well. But yeah, Jimenez did all right for Arsenal, scored a good amount of goals as well, so fair play to him. Rafael Neuer went. Nigel Longvik left for just over 100k. Keanu Hoover as well. The board were quite unhappy with this deal. We sold him for just under £12.5 million, but he just wasn't playing. And again, another player we could cash in on. And he's gone to Shandong in China at 21 years of age. Owen Otasawi we sold for 11 million as well. Again, a very, very solid player. Pretty disappointed with that determination. I think if his determination was like 15 plus, or maybe, 13, 14 plus, I think I would have persisted with him and played him a lot more. But we ended up cashing in on him. Still did all right for us. Scored a couple of goals along the way. A lot of players released, as you can see. Max Kilman left. Definitely wasn't for that much. He was sold to AS Monaco for 10 million, and then they've loaned him out to West Ham, as you can see there. So yeah, Max Kilman went. Angelino went, and that was the biggest reason for the Nuno Mendes signing, because Angelino on the first transfer window on deadline day, he had a release clause of 29.5 million, which was activated. He'd already played 5 games for us that season and got 5 assists. He had a great start to the season, and Chelsea activated his release clause for just under 30 million on deadline day. So it was an absolute nightmare. But of course, we brought in Nuno Mendes, who I'm very happy with. You can see Angelino there. Again, another player we've made really healthy profit on. Next up was Connor Cody, again, another player that just wasn't playing much football. We made a good profit on him overall, obviously, as well. We sold him on to Norwich for 10.95 million. We've also got Leo Bonatini, who I believe was released. Sarkic went to Luton for just under £1 million. Lazaro, who was our backup right back, of course, we brought him in for very cheap, sold him for 7.12 million and brought Carvajal in as his replacement. João Moutinho was also released. Of course, he had a big wage and he went to Norwich, and that is the final out. So lots of players out. We had a few players go out on loan, as you can see here. Vasco Sousa went out on loan to Colorado, just trying to get his value up a little bit as well. Guilherme Montoya, who looks really decent, not too bad at all. And I think at 19 years of age, had a decent season at San Etienne. He could be our backup left back for next season. And Luke Matheson as well was out on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. So it's time to see how we got on in the season, and it was a very, very strong season as well. As you can see, we finished 5th in the league. Pretty disappointed with that, if I'm honest, because I felt, it's our worst league finish in the 3 seasons that we managed the club. The board expectation was qualified for the Euro Cup, which we did. Final position, obviously 5th. Our home attendance was almost maxed out as well, our average home attendance. And as you can see, Mason Greenwood smashing in 29 goals in the league. If we look at the competition results, got off to a decent start in the season. We had three losses on the bounce, which was a little bit frustrating. But we went on a really strong run. But there were just games where we dropped points, silly drop points. These games here, West Ham, Sheffield United, drop points against Villa there, Brighton there, West Brom we lost to on the penultimate game. And then we bounced back with a 7-1 win against Leeds. We smashed Leeds up. Carabao Cup, unfortunately we were knocked out in the quarter-final by Chelsea. We beat Middlesbrough, we beat Liverpool away, and then unfortunately we lost out to Chelsea 1-0 there in that one. The FA Cup, we got all the way to the semi-final, which again was disappointing. We got to Wembley and lost out to Man City. Pretty okay run. We're 2-0 down to Chelsea, brought that back and beat them 3-2. We beat Leicester 3-0. Drew to Reading 1-1, beat them on penalties in the end, and then smashed Charlton 5-0 to go to Wembley again, and unfortunately lost out to Manchester City. Now then, those eagle-eyed viewers may have seen that somehow we qualified for the Champions League. That is because we won the Champions League. Unbelievable achievement. I can't believe it as well. We'll watch the highlights and stuff for that shortly. Our group, we had Besiktas, Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. Again, not an easy group. We just about got through that in the end. We did lose a game to Atleti, but bounced back and smashed them in the end. And I think we won our group off the top of my head. We then played Napoli, who we drew 3-3 with. In the first leg, I was pretty worried there was 3 away goals, but we went to Italy and beat them 3-1. Beat Real Madrid again. We've beaten them 2 years in a row in the Champions League now, and then beat Liverpool 4-0 on aggregate, and then went on to beat Manchester United after extra time 2-1. So we will watch the highlights for that game very, very shortly. But what unbelievable achievement. The first time I have won the Champions League with Wolves, and obviously gives us some huge scope now and really help try and push us on, build the squad, and see how high we can get in the league for next season. Our moments to remember, our biggest win was on the final day of the league season. We beat Leeds 7-1. I think we only scored 2 or 3 goals in the second half. But Haaland grabbed a hat-trick. Greenwood got one. Kamara, the centre-back, scored twice. And Dembele as well. Match to remember, we beat Norwich 6-0 as well. Diakabe scoring a hat-trick of goals. Haaland grabbing 2. And Fabio Silva scoring as well. And goal of the season was Mason Greenwood, which again we'll have a look at in the FA Cup shortly. Finances wise, we sold 500,000 plus shirts. Greenwood with the most, the highest seller. Adama, Haaland, Fabio Silva and Ousmane Dembele in there as well. All our sponsorship and annual revenue was up from last season. So sponsorship was up 13 million. Broadcast revenue was up 1 million. Corporate and hospitality was up slightly. Competition prize money was up a little bit. And matchday commercial and retail was up a little bit as well. But you can see now our club reputation has shot up to worldwide, which I think they're happy with that. And obviously the support and stadium is going to grow. They reckon this was our main lineup, but I'd probably say Haaland was. Well, I'll talk about my main lineup because it wasn't quite that, I'd assume, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. So the accolades for this season: Club Awards, Fans Player of the Season was Mason Greenwood, Young Player of the Season was Mason Greenwood, Signing of the Season was Haaland. Goal of the season was Greenwood for his goal against Chelsea. Top goal scorer in the league was Greenwood with 29. Most assists was Mason Greenwood with 9. Most man of the matches was Mason Greenwood with most assists was 9. Sorry, most man of the matches was Greenwood with 7, and highest average rating was Mason Greenwood with 7.3. Competition awards, Fabio Silva won the European Golden Boy. We got World Under-21 Footballer of the Year for Greenwood. Premier League top goal scorer, Young Player of the Year for Greenwood as well. And the European Champions League Golden Boot and Forward of the Season both went to Haaland. So history in the making. Obviously Champions League, which is unbelievable, and really, really happy with that. Overall, a fantastic season for us, unforgettable season for us as well. We have continued the save on Twitch already, so obviously there's lots of signings coming in and out already for that one. But we're going to have a bit more of a look into things here. As you can see, the player stats overall, Mason Greenwood smashing 39 goals in all competitions. What a signing he has been for, I know, overall 105 million. We've pretty much paid a lot of that off now. But the last 2 seasons, scoring 32 goals last season and 39 this season. An unbelievable record already of 71 goals in 2 years. Could he be, if we carry on this save, could he be the man to rival Steve Bull for his overall goal scoring record? That is one that I'll be really, really interested to see. In terms of obviously fixtures and so on as well, of course we'll show you some of the goals. Let's start off with that Champions League final. Such a big game for us, such a historic game. We actually got the first goal just 4 minutes in as well. It was Boubacar Kamara from the set piece. Pedro Neto getting the nod for the game. Kamara, what a goal that was as well. Volleyed it across goal into the back of the net. Neymar did equalise quite quickly after for United. This was just in the 6th minute. Ansu Fati laid it off for Laird. Took a big touch and Neymar was there and fired it across goal into the back of the net. And we had to wait till extra time. I was in 2 minds for what to do. I'll show you the team that we started off. We started this team here. So no Adama started, no Fabio Silva started. In the end, I brought Fabio Silva on at half-time of extra time, and he produced this goal. Very fortunate, to be fair, as well, but Adama involved in it as well, and Silva literally couldn't miss, and he gets us the win, and that was the Champions League winning goal. Really, really happy with how we performed in that game. And the system that we used in this game was this one here. It's a new 4-4-2 asymmetric type style of tactic that we're using. The reasoning for this team that I played, Farinez, who started in goal, he'd had good form, to be fair, but I had a couple of good performances, so we did start him in goal ahead of Nick Pope. Semedo, Kamara, Diakabi and Mendes was pretty much the back four. We saw Carvalho a fair bit as well, but that was pretty much my back four throughout the whole season. We saw Militao get a good amount of minutes as well. The midfield two, I always preferred midfield two was Sanchez and Declan Rice. Sanchez is a box-to-box and Declan Rice is a DLP. But we saw lots of football for Henrique and Castrovilli. Yunus Musa had a few games. Obviously, Nascimento's coming to the first team now as well after we got his work permit. He played a few games as well. And then we had a bit of a dilemma because Adama Traore was moaning a lot. He's not big, we saw him be super prolific the last 2 years, as you can see there. 70 goals for him across the last 2 years. And unfortunately, this year, just 9 goals in all competitions. So he was been moaning a lot. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to drop him for the final. We brought in Pedro Neto, who just seems to be a big game player. Only scored 4 goals this season, but always seems to score in those big games. If you look at his form, we see his goals here. Scored against West Brom, scored against Southampton, scored against Liverpool, and then even last season, scored against Real Madrid as well, getting a couple of big assists against some big games as well. So we started Neto at left mid, shoved Dembele up to right attacking mid, and then started Greenwood and Haaland up front there. Because Haaland, of course, he had a pretty big knock. 4 weeks he was out for with a pulled hamstring. He did his knee ligament as well, ankle ligament, before that. So he had a couple of longer injuries, which was a little bit frustrating and out of our control, really. But that was a new system we were playing. We still played a little bit with a 3-4-3 as well. We changed a couple of roles and positions on that one as well. So we still did see Haaland, Greenwood and Fabio Silva and Adama obviously play up front and rotate a lot up front together as well. But in terms of, the one last goal I will show you as well was obviously the goal of the season, which was Mason Greenwood's in the FA Cup against Chelsea. So I'll quickly find that goal out for you as well, which was this goal here, the Greenwood one in the 46th minute. But we did score some great goals overall, and just in general, the season has been so successful. I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can strengthen the team in the summer. But this was the Mason Greenwood goal. Sanchez over the top. Greenwood beats his man there. He goes down on goal, and what a finish that is. Edge of the box, but just absolutely levers it into the top corner. And that was the goal, I believe, that gave us a win. After being 2-0 down against Chelsea, we turned it around. Fabio Silva with 2 and Mason Greenwood with a goal. But really, really enjoyed the season. Some fantastic games. Of course, the league wasn't quite how we would have wanted it, but still an okay finish. But winning the Champions League was unbelievable. So, as I said, be sure to check us out. Twitch.tv/DaveAsAParty. We'll be carrying on a brand new season on this save over the next week or so. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well, guys. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you've got any questions, do let me know. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.